You saw that market today? Woo! Almost 8% down. We were actually at dinner last night, and I told my crew at dinner, we're down 2,000 points tomorrow. Now that has never happened, do you understand, in the history of the financial world? Never. 2,000? Never. How much were we down last night? How much were we down today? 2018. Wow. And I don't know if some of you have watched or were even there at Orlando, the Orlando Money Show. The market was at all-time new highs. So I had this talk, right? At this talk. It's like, I don't know, 180 people, almost 200 people there. The first thing I say is, listen, last time I was at this show was 10 years ago, and my message was, don't sell, don't ever sell again in your life, only buy. And that was my message 10 years ago. So I says, I've come back, after this show asked me every single year to come back. Oliver, please, come back. But I didn't have anything major to say. So I decided to come back this year after 10-year hiatus. And I'm the most sought-after speaker in this entire industry. After 10 years, I decided to come back because I had a new message. Don't ever buy again in your entire life. So I said this statement at my last speech. You can go at it online. It is going viral, and the industry is now calling me a hero. Oliver, call the top. February 6th, don't ever buy again. We're in store for the biggest collapse in history. Now, you can go look on YouTube on MoneyShow.com and see that event, and you will see something interesting. 10 people, immediately after I said that, stood up in unison and walked out. Like, what is this guy talking about? So today, what I want to do, I wonder how they feel now, though. Dan, who was there, you see Dan right there under my shirt? He's one of my top traders. So Dan said, did you see that group that stood up and walked out? He's like, they're going to lose a lot of money. All right, so anyway, so what I want to talk about today, and we're good, right? We're live? All right, guys. Welcome online. Welcome here. My name is Oliver Velez, and my job is to rock your world today. And I will. And I will. I promise you that. So what I want to do is I want to do something unique. I've never done this before. Okay? I want to show you how what I did, how I call the top. I want to give you that ability every single time. So from this day forward, you will never, ever for the rest of your life, ever be caught at the top like this. There are millions of people. There are billions being lost. You understand? Right now, in this market downdraft. The largest 10 to 20, almost 20% decline in the history of the financial world. And I was telling the world since December 14th. And my last big giant international message was February 7th, I think it was, February 7th in Orlando. So I want to give you that ability, but I want to give you that ability from a macro perspective so that I don't know if you have retirement funds or whatever, you can know when it's most appropriate to act on the buy and the sell side. And I want also to do something else. I want to take that ability and take it to the short term. Because I believe that the markets should not be played from a one-dimensional point of view. You don't choose whether you're a long-term investor or a short-term trader. That is not a choice. You do it, you do them both. You understand? There is a place for playing the market shorter term. And there's a place for playing it over a macro cycle. Why not have it all? Why not? Why have to make a choice? I remember, funny story, all right? Individual asked me at one particular time, one of my traders, Oliver, do you like are you like a Rolls Royce guy? You like Rolls Royces or you like Ferraris? You know what my answer was? Why not have both? And that's what I did, right? So, I want you to have both. So I'm going to teach you a small handful of concepts that can be applied to the macro world, the macro investment, long-term. Warren Buffett, I will give you the ability to outperform Warren Buffett, which I've done for 22 years. Warren Buffett's record is not that great. It's just that his money's big. Warren Buffett's 33-year record is his 15% a year over the last 33 years. That's not extraordinarily impressive. 15%. I'm going to teach you to make 15% in a month. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a handful of concepts. I'm going to teach you from the macro perspective how to utilize these small handful of concepts. I'm going to also teach you to take those same concepts. We're going to go to a smaller time frame, and you make income. So there are two forms of money. There are two forms of money I want you to focus on: making income every day, every week, every month, and making wealth every quarter, every year, every decade. Are you guys ready? All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay. I don't know if I can do this now, but it doesn't look like it. But this is a video I put out announcing that we are going down huge. I want you to make sure that you take this video in, because you'll understand why I felt this way in a deeper way. So my YouTube channel is absolutely free. It's also on the MoneyShow.com website as well. I am, of course, the most watched speaker in the entire Money Show audience, or one of them at least, all right? And that's not by mistake. So I want you to take those videos in. I thought I could show it here, but I can't. I wanted to show you a little snippet. This was my trading today, this morning. You see 9:52 in the morning. I am up at this particular point in the trade, $20,000. I'm a specialist at capitalizing on the first 20 to 30 minutes of the trading day. I gained my fame on Wall Street for being the most profitable trader off the open. And my fame for that went viral. That led to me leaving Wall Street and becoming the industry's #1 instructor. So virtually every single firm on Wall Street sent me their top traders for a 12-year period, paid me $25,000 per trader per week to train. I maximized my classes for Wall Street, 10 traders a week, and I was booked for 12 years, $25,000 per person, $10 10 people per week, repeat for 12 years. Today, I have over 10,000 traders in over 53 different countries around the world, which makes me one of the largest trading organizations in the world. I personally fund my traders. I personally train my traders. And they understand that not a single penny of their family's money or their personal money will ever be risked. I take 100% of the risk. If I can't make my traders make money, it's my fault. That's the attitude I take. And I'm looking for more traders, and I'm hoping that some of you will want to take this step. All right? I will explain to you a little bit later why I want more traders, why it's important that I have more traders. But I want to tell you that if you take this step with me, I promise you, for the rest of your life, you will never have to put your own money at risk. I will risk my money on you. And if you lose my money, I will kill you. No. No. I will take the loss. So this keeps our relationship honest. You put your dedication and passion into this. Trust me, as long as you have a penny of my capital, my family's money at risk, I will make sure I train you until training is coming out of your ears, until you're one of the best out there. Because if I fail at my job, I lose my money, not you. And that's what I'm hoping that some of you do. But anyway, let's get to the thing. So anyway, I want to show you something very quickly here. I want you to take a look at this Microsoft chart. This is from this morning. It's a 2-minute chart of Microsoft. I want you to take a look at the blue line, which is the 20-period simple moving average. I want you to take a look at the red line, which is the 200-period moving average. Now, I will never look at a chart without these two moving averages, and neither should you. These are the granddaddy of all moving averages, the 20-period moving average, the 200. On every chart, every time frame, every market, it doesn't matter. Futures, options, bonds, stocks, Cabbage Patch dolls, pet rocks. I don't care what you are trading. Do you understand? You have the 20 and the 200 on everything, every time frame, every market. All right? This galaxy, other galaxies as well. Okay. Take a look at those two moving averages. Understand. Look at the fact that they started the day relatively close. If you can see, the 20 was practically touching the 200-period moving average. I know it might be hard for you to see, but they're close together. The market, Microsoft, opens down away from those moving averages. So you have two states in the market. The market vacillates between two states. When they're close, and when the market moves away from the moving averages. Listen to me again. Two states, narrow, close, together, and then away from the moving averages. There are two wide states. Sometimes the stock is way away from the moving averages, and sometimes the stock is near. But also, there's a secondary state. There's sometimes the two moving averages separate to create the wide state. Now, listen to me carefully. When you have a narrow state, when the moving averages are close, not wide, close, you will tend to get big moves, flow, trends, continuation. You understand? Power trends. From the wide state, you get sudden snapbacks in the opposite direction. So think, from narrow, you will flow, right? From wide, you snap back. Do you understand this so far? Yes? Narrow, flow, wide, snapback. Okay? So, Microsoft, from a relatively narrow state, opens way below the moving averages. So it starts its day far away. Whenever you're far away, the mindset in your trading should be the opposite direction. Whenever you are near, it should be with the direction that starts. So from near and narrow, if the market starts going up, you should bet up. If from a narrow, if the market starts going down, you should bet down. But if the market opens far away, you should think opposite, reverse. So Microsoft opens down, far away from the moving average. Initially, at least from a short-term perspective, you should think reverse, up. And so if you look carefully, my play, a Microsoft, is on the first green bar up. Whenever Microsoft shows me, okay, I'm going up in a strong way, boom, I'm in the play because I'm far away. Now, I give you this concept in advance of some of the things we're going to talk about. So I made $23,000 in 23 minutes this morning off of this play. Now, I'm sort of like a retired trader. Back in my professional days when I had an $85 million account, I was trading, that was my job to do that. You know, my mornings were millions of dollars. And so today it's just more of a retirement style of trading. But I just want you to understand that zeros don't matter. The technique is the same. If you can make 23,000, you can make 2.3 million with another zero, with several more zeros. If you can make $23, you can make $230 with the same actions, just another zero. If you can make $230, you can make $2,300 with the same buy and sell decision with just another zero. I've got the zeros for you. I just need you to get the button presses right, the buy and the sell, and the timing of those correctly. Get those actions right, I've got all the zeros you need. All right. Guys, very quickly, started trading in 1981, became a professional in 1986. That makes me a dinosaur, I understand. Formed one of the largest organizations in the trading community ever. A global organization called Pristine in 1994. Barron's ranked me the #1 source for trading education in the professional trading arena in 1998. Dow Jones called me the messiah of day trading in 1999. This organization had their first event ever, and they chose me to be the inaugural keynote speaker and the representative for the entire industry. I am best-selling author of 5 books that are written in 7 different languages. These 5 books, these international best-selling books, sell more copies than every other trading book ever written in the history of the world combined. These are the top 5 selling trading books of all time. 10,000 plus equity and Forex traders, and I'm still a consultant to some of the largest exchanges throughout the world. Okay. This is a picture of me back in the old days. That's my first speech at this show. And this is the article that Barron's ranked me #1. This is an image of my books in 7 different languages. And this is my upcoming speaking schedule throughout the world. Okay. This is where you can follow me, stay in touch with me. I try my best to answer every single question you have, okay, personally. Okay, what do we need? Let's get into the thing. We need a candlestick chart. I want you to take a look at this chart. This is the NASDAQ. This chart was the day I gave my speech on February 7th in Orlando at this very show called the Money Show in Orlando, International Money Show in Orlando. Took a snapshot of the NASDAQ that day. This year, February 6th, this is the chart that I gave the speech on. And I said, we are crashing from here. And I want you to be able to do the same thing here. Now, this chart, obviously, is made up of candlestick bars. Green bars represent up periods. Red bars represent down periods. Now, we also need 2 simple moving averages. We've got to smooth out this data because the chart is very volatile and jagged. I need you to see it in a smooth out fashion. So we're going to smooth it out over a 20-period simple moving average and a 200-period simple moving average. Whenever you're using moving averages, you always want to use a buddy system. So you use a short one and a long one. You never use a short one and a short one or a long one and a long one. That doesn't work. You need a short one and a long one. So our short one is the 20, our long one is the 200. Now take a look at the 20-period moving average on the NASDAQ. This is the NASDAQ 100. Now we have smoothed out the data. As you can see, it's a nice, beautiful, smooth, rising up period. I want you to take a look at the NASDAQ in the 20. I want you to note that there are moments when the 20-period moving average and the stock come together like they're lovers. And then I want you to note that there are periods when it moves away from the 20-period moving average. Now take a look. Look at the moments when it's near or at the 20. Look at the left-hand side of the chart. Look at the middle side of the chart. Look at the last third side of the chart. And then look at it on February 6th. Now, what you will know is that when you are near, you're safe. You're usually good. But when you are far away, you are overdue for a snapback. So the market comes near the 20 and then away. And then near the 20 and then away. The worst time to buy is when? Away. You know how many millions of people bought there? The 10 people who stood up and walked out of my speech on this day, they were buyers. You will never, ever buy again unless the item that you're buying is near your 20-period moving average of that item. I don't care what you're trading. Put the 20 on it. I don't care what time frame you're trading. You put that 20 on it to know, am I near the 20 or am I away from the 20? That will eliminate 40% of your errors. I'm going to get all the way up to like almost 90%, eliminating 90% of your errors. So this is one of them. Don't think about getting into anything that is not near its 20-period moving average. And you can put the 20-period moving average on anything. All right, now let's go to the next point. Look at the 200. Now, what you're looking at when we put the 200 is the long period moving average. The picture, what I call the picture of power, is when you have a stock that's rising above its 20. The 20 is rising, the stock is rising above the 20 is rising above the 200. So you got a three-finger spread here. A three-finger spread. Now, this three-finger spread is stock on top, 20 in the middle, 200 at the bottom, right? Now, this picture of power has two dominant states. Narrow when all three items are relatively close. So you got stock, 20, 200, but close together. Then you've got the wide state. Stock, 20, 200 spread apart. Narrow, wide. Narrow, together, wide. Now, look to February 6th. What state are we in? Wide. Your best buy opportunities are in a narrow state, not a wide state. This is the worst time to buy. You understand? The best time to sell or short or try to benefit on the downside, and trust me, you have no idea. This is the most profitable period of my 38-year trading history. It beat 2008, which was before this period the most profitable period of my life. Why? It's not rocket science. Wide state, I bet the other way. And that's on both the downside and the upside. Microsoft today, do you remember? Microsoft today is betting from the wide state at the bottom back to the upside. From the short-term perspective, know your stocks or your items state. You will eliminate a big percentage of the complexity of this game, of the problems that come from, is it a buy, is it a sell, should I go in, should I stay on the sidelines? You start to simplify things. This game is not complex, traders. It is not. You bring the complexity. Look, the market goes up, down, and sometimes sideways. That's complex? That's it? Three things. It's got three things. That's complex? No. You know what's complex? The human body. There are 12 billion plus processes going off, firing this very second in your human body. That's complex. The market, up, down, sideways, up, down, sideways. It doesn't have anything else. So why does it feel so complex? Why does it feel so difficult? You bring your baggage, your lack of discipline, your lack of education, your lack of information, your inability to keep your own word and keep your own promises to yourself. You are the problem. You bring the complexity to this simple mechanism. Red bars, green bars, up, down. Two colors, red, green. Two moving averages, 20, 200. Two positions, above the moving averages, below the moving averages. Two states, narrow, wide. Two actions, buy, sell. Two results, win, loss. Is any of that complex? Boys and girls? No, it's not. Let's go. Okay. All markets breathe. They breathe from an inhale, narrow state, and then they exhale, exhale state. And from an exhale state, by physical law, physics, you have to go to a what? Narrow state. There's only two dominant states. Get your states right. Then get your tactics that are designed for each state. Get tactics designed for an inhale state. Get tactics designed for an exhale state. And just know your state. And match the tactic with the state. Oh, this is a narrow state tactic. Boom! Oh, wait a minute. My stock is at an exhale state. This is an exhale state tactic. Boom! Match the state with the tactic. That's what I teach you to do. Now, some people say, Oliver, why do you travel the world recruiting traders for your team? Why do you do this? Why don't you just trade? You don't get it. If I was trading Microsoft this morning, and yes, granted, I made a $23,000 gain in 23 minutes. Not bad, $1,000 a minute. But while I was in Microsoft, what was happening in PayPal? What was happening in Twitter? What was happening in Facebook? What was happening in Baba? You see, I can't be at every opportunity in every stock in every market at the same time. But I want to be. What if I gave you money, and you money, and says, you take Facebook, you take Twitter, you take PayPal, you take Microsoft, you take Baba, and now I don't miss an opportunity in any of those if I teach you correctly. You see, I want it all. That's just the way I am. Sorry. I'm greedy. Crack myself up. All right, let's go. So we go from an exhale to an inhale. It's simple. It's not easy. I will never tell you this is easy. You know, basketball is easy. Just put this ball in that hoop. That's easy. Well, that's simple. That's not easy. So simple and easy is different. I get it. But the game is simple. It may not be easy, but it's simple. And it becomes simpler with the right amount of capital because most people are playing this game with baby money. And you can't win with baby money. You can be the best trained trader in the world and have inappropriate money, and you're a loser, just like a novice. You can't show up to a gunfight with a knife and think you're going to win. It doesn't work that way. And most people don't even have a knife. They have a toothpick. Doesn't happen. Right? You got to have the right amount of capital to play this game. Let's be serious. I don't know about other planets yet because I'm waiting on Elon Musk. All right? I have yet to do intergalactic travel. But I will tell you this. On this planet, on this green earth called planet Earth, it takes money to make money. Right? Don't let anybody fool you. Poor people have been violated for centuries with the idea that you can make money with no money. That is a lie. Not on this planet. Maybe some other galaxy will find that, but not here. You need money. And most traders are terrible, or even more terrible than they should be, because they're playing small money. Makes you play stupidly, makes you play rooted in fear, makes you exit when it's not appropriate to exit, makes, all kinds of things. Small money makes you a worse trader. You got to play with the appropriate amount of capital. I can solve that for you. No professional plays with their own money, by the way. Not a single one. The only place I've found traders that trade their own money is in the novice world. It is not a part of the professional world. No one uses their own money. Why? Why limit my success to my limited capital when there's way more money available to me outside of my capital? No one does. No business uses their own money. It's stupid. And you shouldn't either. Another thing, you're more talented as a trader with your own money. No, with my money, I'm sorry. You're more talented with my money than your money. You're more stupid with your money. I mean that with respect, but you are. You will take more risks. You will be more unintelligent with your own money, but you won't want to disappoint me. So you'll be more disciplined, more exacting, more responsible. This is the secret on Wall Street. Billionaires start hedge funds and start attracting other money. Why? Do they need it? No. They're held to a higher standard. Their market play is better with other people's money. All right. Let's use the past example. Guys, look, I'm going to take the same NASDAQ 100. Many of you weren't around. Maybe some of you were around. Who was around in 1995? Show me. You were playing the markets in 1995? Yeah. Do you know me? You guys know me from 1995. All right, cool. Well, listen, 1995, we're looking at the same index, NASDAQ 100. Look at the three items. Look at the NASDAQ, look at the 20, look at the 200. Look at how tight together they are. Now, look at the NASDAQ, the year 2000, 95 to 2000. Now look at the NASDAQ, look at the 20, and look at the 200. Look how wide apart they are. You think, look, do you see that? Look, I know it may be hard to see, but do you see that little tail at the top? Well, it's not that small either. You see it at the top? There's millions of people hanging from that tail like that got into the market, not knowing you don't buy in a wide state. From wide, we go narrow again. And here you have the collapse into 2003, back to narrow. And this must repeat itself. It is impossible to break this cycle. It is like the market's DNA. It can't be broken. It will never be an exception. And you know what? Every cycle, there are people saying this is the exception. Can't ever be an exception. It's physics. Every buyer is a future what? So how can it not happen? How can buyers never become sellers? The sell side always has to happen. So if you have years of people buying, it's only setting up a more devastating decline because they are future sellers. Do you understand this? Don't you ever get fooled by this nonsense on television that you listen to. I used to be invited on CNBC, Fox Business, all the financial things. I used to think it was important. Now I just ignore their calls. Talking to someone that has no idea what they're saying, trying to educate them, waste my trading day, waiting in the room for 2.5 hours for my 4-minute segment to come. And then it's, Oliver, the news today is spectacular on this. We can't do your 4 minutes today. I know you've been waiting for 3.5 hours. Can you come back tomorrow? I'm like, you're kidding me? I'm not doing this anymore. Ignore the calls today. That is nonsense. News, nonsense. All you need to know is the item I'm trading. What state is it in? Narrow, wide. Is the 20-period moving average rising? When you're from a narrow state, you obey that 20-period moving average. That 20-period moving average is rising, you go with that. But when it's wide, now you go against it. And that's all you need to know. Whether you're playing a 2-minute chart like I played on Microsoft today, or a monthly chart on your 401k, your retirement plan, or something long-term, doesn't matter. The same concept. Listen, the truth, there is an ancient saying that says, as below, so above. As above, so below. What this statement means is that the truth is universal, which means that it can't be true on the first floor and not be true on the 10th floor. So truth is universal on all floors. So if it's true on a monthly chart, it's true on a 2-minute chart. If it's true when you're a child, it's the truth when you're an adult. Doesn't matter. Truth is universal. And if you find a conflict with that, it's not the ultimate truth. Okay. Let's look at today, or close to today. So look, I want you to look at 2010. I never showed up to this show in 10 years. That's why some of you say, who is this guy? Before that, everyone knew. Everyone knew. But because I stopped coming for 10 years, 2010, that circle represents the last time I was at a show. And my message was, well, you tell me what my message was. We're in a narrow state. What? Buy everything. People got up out of that talk too. It's crazy. Buy everything. That was my last message here. All right? And now that arrow was February 6th. Said, don't ever buy again in your entire life. And I told him, listen, I'm being facetious, but people don't get the message unless you shock them today. We're in a shock-oriented society. So when I say don't ever buy again in your entire life, I get their attention. But if I say, oh, it's not a good time to buy, it's not important enough. So that was my message. Go watch it. Now, look at what happened in 10-year segments. Look at 1990, narrow. Look at 2000, 10 years. Now, okay, we come down to the bottom. Look at 2010, 10 years later. And then look at 2020. A 10-year cycle going on here. Look, I have a trading kids program. I have hundreds of kids all over the world that I teach to trade, 10-year-olds to 16-year-olds, right? And they're amazing. You know why? Because they don't think like adults. They don't question. They're like, Oliver, when you say far away, what percentage is that? Is that 20%? Can you give me a formula? Kids like, wow, that's far. And that's why they're better. They don't complicate things. They say, wow, that's far apart. Adults are like, but can you give me a measurement? Can you give me an actual number? Is there a ruler that I can? Overcomplicating things. Look at where it's narrow. You don't need a ruler. And look at where it's freaking far apart. And that's it. Worst possible time to buy, 2020. Worst possible time to buy. All right. Now, this is the Dow right now. This is the fastest, nearly 20% drop in the history of the world. And so my phone is blowing up. Oliver, come on this show. You come on the show. How did you do it? How do you do it? Now you know. Wide statement. Not rocket science. I'm sometimes embarrassed at how simple this is, because when I explain it to people, they say, that's it? There's nothing more sexy to it? No. Just this line far from that one? Yes. No earnings ratio, sales ratio, company products, company management, this and that. No, that doesn't matter. Because listen, if you're trying to find intelligence here, you're looking at the wrong place. It doesn't exist. Because fear is not intelligent. So what you see on the right-hand side of that chart, you see fear. It doesn't matter what tips fear over. Corona, Ebola, it doesn't matter. Anything, but once fear has been triggered, it has no intelligence. So numbers, ratios, company value, product. Listen, I know the stuff that Warren Buffett's talk about, but we don't have the money that he has. Don't buy that. Don't get caught up in that stuff. All right. I want to show you these bars. Take a look. Look at the left-hand column. These are the buy bars. They're the only 4 bars you need to know. And then look at the right-hand column. Those are the 4 sell bars. Memorize them. There are 3 tail bars and 1 what I call elephant bar. These are the only bars you need. Now match these bars with the state narrow, wide. So when you're wide, which bars do you want? Left column or right column? Right column. They're the ones that mark down. And when you're narrow, you want the left column. Match, I promise you, you're in the 87th percentile. Play with the 20-period moving average from narrow. Play against it from wide. Identify the state, identify the position, identify the trigger bars, play with the 20 from narrow, play against it from wide, and you've got the framework of proper market play. Doesn't this make sense? Yes? It's supposed to make sense. It's not supposed to be a mystery. It's common sense. Because this item that we trade only has 3 directions. So a simple item requires a simple approach, a simple method. A complex item requires something more complex. Inhale, exhale. Boom. That's what you're looking for from an inhale state. You're looking for any one of the 4 items to occur in a narrow state. Whether it's a 2-minute chart like this morning, or it's a monthly chart like the NASDAQ. It doesn't matter. Same thing. Don't choose. Do them both. From an exhale state, you want one of the 4 items igniting there. Now, if I go back, look at those 4 items at the top. You got 3 topping tails and a red elephant bar, right? Let's go back to this. Look at, I want you to go back to, what's that bar? Is that one of them? Yes? All right, don't fall asleep on me. I'm not that boring, am I? All right. Topping tail bar. From a what state? Wide state. Now you know what to do. Match your bars with the state. Oh my God. Now, I've been for the last 25 years teaching, well, not totally 25 years, but for the bigger part of my professional career, I've been teaching millionaire traders, right? And I tired of that. And I left. I stopped. I stopped getting $25,000 a person. I stopped it. I'm done with that. And I said, you know what? Because they didn't represent me, I'll be honest with you. In fact, I sent my resume to 179 firms on Wall Street that said no to me back in the early or mid-1980s. And those same firms, years later, were sending me their traders to be trained. I wasn't them. So what I decided to do, I got a new passion. I'm bringing Wall Street to Main Street because I was Main Street. And they didn't want Main Street. So today, I'm an evangelist for this activity. I believe that this activity has the potential to solve many of the world's social ills because it bridges the 4 major divides that separate people into classes. Lack of money, I give you my money. You know that lack of technology is also what separates people into classes? This school has computers, and this school doesn't even have books. Right? Lack of technology, I got the technology for you. Lack of knowledge, training, separates people into classes, different levels. I will train you every day of your life, give you the best technology on this planet to do this, and give you my money. Now, I want you to imagine this. With what I've just taught you, do you know how easy it is for me to train someone to make $50 a day? There are people in this world that make $50 a month. Imagine if I take this to that area and train a $50 month earner to make $50 a day. I change their family's life and their whole future line forever. That is my dream. That is what I do. I've been down in Latin America for the past 3 years focused on building an entire huge Latin American team. You know why? Because in Venezuela, they're making $4 a month. In Colombia, where I live most of the time now, the average salary is $300 a month. Do you know how easy it is for me to teach someone to make $300 a day? The impact that this can have, financial independence, is through the roof. No job, no boss, no location to go to, a laptop, computer, and an internet connection from anywhere in the world during business. All you need is access to capital and the right technology. So I go around the world providing it all. Now, I don't do it for free. All right, I'm generous, but I'm not an idiot, right? So I want a percentage of the gains. All right? This is not, you know, a non-for-profit. This is a I can't even say it, for-profit operation. But I want to change lives in the process. And what's wrong with that? You know? Anything worthwhile doing is worthwhile doing for profit. And if you can change a life in the process, it's amazing. My life was changed by this activity. And I know that it can change the lives of millions if they have access to the right things. Okay. Inhale state, you're going up most of the time or down. Listen to this. From an inhale state, you don't know the direction. Don't start guessing the direction. Wait for it. So many traders, so many market participants think that you have to predict the future. You don't. You just have to read the now. So from a narrow state, does it blast off up or does it blast off down? Well, just wait. You don't have to know. But when it does, play it that way. There's no need to predict. All right? This is Facebook. Look at the left-hand side of the chart. Now we're going small time. So we're looking at a big monthly chart of the NASDAQ. Now it's a 2-minute chart of Facebook. Look at the narrow state. This narrow state on the left could have blasted off upward or blasted downward. It blasted down. You just have to wait to see and just go that way. Simple. Now find one of your bars from the narrow state. You've got topping tail bars and elephant red bars. Do you see one? Do you see an elephant there? Play that elephant. Whichever bar shows up first, that's yours. I love that sound, by the way. You love that sound? That's a $100 bill counter. Now, I know some of you have one of those, but yours sounds like this. No, but some of yours sounds like this. Nothing. No, but we'll fix that. All right, let's go. So we go from narrow to wide, back to narrow. And this just repeats. Listen, you can't have consistency. You can't get consistency from doing things inconsistently. So what I teach you are a set number of formulas that you just repeat the formula every single time the same way on every single trade, and you never let the market trick you into deviating. And so you judge yourself after 20 trades. The problem some traders have is that every trade they're tinkering. They're going back to the drawing board. Oh, that was a losing trade. Let me see if I can change this over there. Oh, this was a losing trade. Let me change it. No. You have to stand still for a while. You got to have a history of data to judge what needs to be adjusted and tweaked. You understand? So I teach you a set number of formulas. I teach you set tactics and techniques, but I teach you this unique matching system, just like narrow state, these 4 bars. Wide state, these 4 bars. And then we got to go over how do you protect yourself when it doesn't work because nothing is 100%. When do you add to your play? Because every big trader adds. No big trader fails to add to a winning play. So once your play starts winning, when do you add and by how much? How do you adjust that initial protection so that you, as it's progressing, you don't lose a big portion of what you've gained during the process of earning? When do you take profits, which is the most complex part of the game? When do you end your money making? Because if you get in the habit of ending it too soon, you're a losing trader. If you get into the habit of ending your profits too late, you're a losing trader. Taking profits is the most important part of the game. More important than entering, More important than anything. And do you take all of your profits? Or do you take a portion of your profits? And if you take a portion, what portion? A third or a half? You need formulas for all of this. I will teach you every single thing that I've learned over 38 years of trading and being at the top of this industry. The top. There is no one. You can take every single person in this event and combine them. No one has taught more professional traders. I am responsible for the most successful traders in America. And that's not being egotistical, it's just a fact. And I have a unique ability. The ability to transfer my experience in a very deeply understandable way. There are people who are talented that will put you to sleep. You understand? This guy's snoring back there. It's true. But I know it's been a long 2 days, guys, and I give you kudos for that. You guys are amazing. Being here this late, I'm surprised I have this many people here. But so some people just don't have the ability to transfer their talent. They're very talented, but they don't have the ability to transfer it. But I've been blessed with that. And that is why my training career has been so successful, in addition to my trading career. All right, guys, all of this is the same, narrow to wide. Look at your entries near the 20-period moving average. You get out away from the 20-period moving average. Look at the narrow to wide. You know this stuff. It's boring. Narrow to wide. It's all the same. It's boring, and it's supposed to be boring because it's the same formula over and over again. You want excitement? You want entertainment? Go to Disney World. Spend the money from this boring activity on something exciting. But if you're feeling excited during your trading, you're probably doing something wrong. It's supposed to be boring. You're like a monkey repeating the same thing over and over again. How is that exciting? All right, buying above the red. Look, narrow to wide. You guys know this. This is all boring. So look, let me talk to you about the program. I know this is not for all of you. I know it's not for most of you, but I'm speaking to the few that it is. I want to give you the proper amount of money. I want to make sure you are funded for the rest of your life with this. I do not want you playing with your money. You're not as good with your money. I want to give you the money you need to do this. I'm going to give you the best technology. I have the best technology. Listen, I help build the technology in this industry. That's another story I'll explain to you once you're in my family. But I help build the technology in this industry. I was one of the first 8 traders on a system called SOS back in the 1988. The first time a trader could press a button and get executed without writing out a ticket and handing it to an order taker. I was the first trader on Archipelago Stock Exchange, or Archipelago ECN, that came to me to be the first trader on that exchange. Now it's called Arca New York Stock Exchange. I helped to build. You're kicking me off right now? All right, 2 minutes and I'm gone. I promise you. 2 minutes. I promise you. I'm so sorry. 2 minutes, I'm gone. All right, so guys, look, Self-Start Trader Program. Look, the fully funded program, education for life, funding for the rest of your life. Look, you will never not be educated. Every single day, every single week, every single month. There's no expiration to this. You are trained every day of your life. You are guided every day of your life. You are monitored every day of your life. You have professional traders right there with you every day of your life, forever. Never stops. And you're funded for the rest of your life. As long as you want it, of course. You can lose that in one trade. Spread this cost over 5 years. I always tell traders to do that. Give yourself 5 years to do this. Spread that cost over 5 years is a cup of coffee. All right? But if you don't have any interest in trading my capital, you say, Oliver, I just want to be educated by you. $300. I'm at the NASDAQ on Friday. The NASDAQ invited me to hold my event at their headquarters. We're going to be at the NASDAQ headquarters. This upcoming Friday, I'm at the NASDAQ headquarters in Times Square, live, not online, just like this, in a room in the NASDAQ headquarters for $300. I will teach you every single thing I know. I only need 4 hours. You see how simple it is. You have one thing right now. Let me give it to you all. So you choose. Do you want everything for life and funding, starting with a $50,000 account? Or do you just want to learn? So you have a choice. $300 just to learn everything that I do, or the full enchilada. Now, if you sign up by Thursday, I'll give it to you for that. Wow. Now spread that cost over 5 years. But look at this. If you sign up by tomorrow, I'll give it to you for this. Now, this is a dinner with your family and a very nice bottle of wine. And think about you're in the family for life. I love you guys. God bless you.